Super investor to the rescue. Yes, Barry Charles is your super investor right here, right now. Just kidding. But yes, we're going to have a look at the super investors, the Warren Buffetts, the Lee Loos, so many more, and learn what they are buying in Q1 2023. Are they the people you should follow in your stock picking? Yes, maybe, maybe not. Now, just to give you a little bit of a hint on super investors basically will have to trade in companies that are like 10 billion or more, ideally even more than that, but it all just depends on where their price targets are, how much they have in the portfolio. Some can do a bit more risk assertive to others that are on real big things, and obviously some companies are more known as being less conservative, so if they go and buy into something more risky, that is where problems occur and investors run away, especially for wealth fund managers. Although that doesn't mean that you're going to get the best returns overall, but a lot of people like to be safe. But if you're like me and like to take a bit more risk, then we can, being a more retail, lower investor. But now, let's have a look at what we can do and learn from the investing of the super rich. Oh, we're going to first of all look at Mr. Warren Buffett. Yes, the miracle of Omaha, whatever you want to call him, the marvelous, the magnificent. He has really gone flying up the scale lately, and especially with the help of Apple. Yes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, or lets Warren Buffett drink his Coke every day and laugh all the way to the bank, with his obviously buying into Coca-Cola, no pun intended. But yes, just to give you an example of like a big investor, say, buys into Palantir, for instance. If you buy 12 million of Palantir or a bit more, you got half of the company, and was basically means the stock price is going to go right to the roof. And what you're going to see, a lot of people sell out, and then you'll probably force this out because more than likely it's not going to get back up to that, or it'll take 10 years to get back up to that. So that is why the super investors don't go into lower stocks, even though Palantir is starting to move up the ladder. But that's why you don't see big investments in these companies, because of that reason. As we see the plane fly above us. But let's have a look at Warren Buffett. What has he done in 2023 Q1? Has he shaken baked? Has he done a little bit of change in his profile? Well, let's have a look at what actually happened. Okay, so Warren Buffett, the Mr. Wheeler Dealer, yes, he invested another 17,000 shares worth over $100 million invested. This was in a Q3. Sorry, I just had to look at a few things that have happened in this past. Was 22%. He added shares to his portfolio. Interesting to see that HPQ has been an interesting move for him recently. With the dividend being so great, this is possibly why he is in this company. We look at America, obviously Bank of America, which is a big one for him. He's added about 2% increase in the shares in the Q1. What else did I see in earlier on with Warren Buffett? Taiwan Semiconductor. Basically, in the 2 quarters he had brought in, and he's now sold out completely out of that position, which is not Warren Buffett like, but he obviously saw an issue and he got out of there. And he also completely sold out of US Bancorp and Bank of New York Mellon. So interesting looking at those things from Warren Buffett. That maybe General Motors is the next company he might fully sell out of. There's a possibility here for Mr. Warren Buffett. Remember, if you like this video, subscribe and share this video out to the world. Next up is Mohnish Pabrai. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend. He's been flying along. He's been really especially been more of a TV personality of lately. Obviously, Alibaba, selling all out of Alibaba, to me, might be a mistake. But short term is not a mistake, but long term it could be. But obviously he couldn't wait around long enough. It's interesting to see. We're looking at what has been happening here. Obviously, he sold out of Brookfield Corporation to keep. Yeah, it's basically say Brookfield Corp, he still got them, Brookfield Assets he sold out when they broke off as separate entities. So he hasn't really done much in Q1, but it's going to be interesting to see how that continues going forward. So there wasn't much to write home out for him. Next off is Bill Gates, yes, the man with Melinda, his wife. Very little activity from him, but he just sold out of Weber Incorporated, and the 20% of his interesting when I look at the portfolio of him, 20% of it's in Berkshire Hathaway, then he's got 17% in the National Railway, and 31% of course in Microsoft. Let's have a look at Chris Hahn, 29 billion investment portfolio. He made a big new acquisition in GE, General Electric Motors. Yes, 26 million shares brought to make up 8.5% of the portfolio. He has gone big time into this stock. So does he believe it's a value play? He must do if he's buying it at that sort of money. Well, it's interesting to see how that stock goes in the future. If you might have to do some more research into General Electric. And on the other side of the table, he's actually sold out of all his Class A shares in Alphabet and 50% of his Class C shares in Alphabet. He also got out of Union Pacific Corp altogether. So some interesting moves either way here. Google, I'm not sure about that one. But let's look at his portfolio overall. He also added a bit to Moody. Clearly he likes the railways, which he's held for a very long time and grown the position over the last year. Moody seems to be the one, and GE Motors is probably the ones that I think he might be looking at continuing to add more to this position. Whether Alphabet might come back in as an opportunity, or will he sell out the rest of Alphabet? Let's head off to Bill Ackman now. Yes, Bill Ackman. Did someone buy... Yeah. Bill Ackman's an interesting character, this one. Bill Ackman didn't do much to his portfolio. With Alphabet A and C shares combined. 10% of his portfolio. Chipotle Mexican Grill is 12% of the portfolio. Is that too big? To me, it might be, but if you got in earlier with Chipotle, I think it was a very good buy earlier on. He might be just trying to hold on to this one. I think he'll continue to buy into Alphabet. I think that's where he'll look into, looking at his stocks here. And to be honest, I was wondering they did sell out Alphabet. Was that a mistake? Yes and no. I got out of Alphabet, but to be honest, I just don't like having too many stocks, so I just put more into Meta, and well, that was a good good deciding decision right there. And it was good to get out of Google and sign into Meta, especially with the rise we've had recently. But that doesn't mean Google can't go flying past Meta in the future, depending on how their AI goes. What else do I think? So Bill Ackman hasn't done much action this month, so not much to read about there. So let's go on to Guy Spear, who's similar position. He didn't do much in the sport, his portfolio. But let's just have a look at he's got 30% in Berkshire Hathaway. So as you can see, this seems to be a big key thing for a lot of these top investors to be in Berkshire Hathaway. But I don't see how much growth there is in Berkshire Hathaway, in my honest opinion. But they maybe just try and maintain their wealth, not lose it. If I was looking at his portfolio, that 5% in Alibaba, I could see him doubling that, whether he would want to. But put a bit more investment into Alibaba. I think it could be a good long-term play. It could also be a trap play, Alibaba, but that's something you have to do more research on before investing. But that, in his portfolio, that's probably one I'd probably look to put a bit more in. Looking for a bit more upside in this portfolio, that's an opportunity there. I wouldn't be surprised if he adds to his Alphabet stake going forward. But yeah, there's not much to write home about with this one. Pat Dorsey's $829 million portfolio. He seems to be a similar trader to me, looking for value stocks on sale and also taking some risk and some long-term potential winners, with Roku in his portfolio. Meta's move to sell some of his stake, I feel that was a mistake. I think Meta's going to continue to grow. But if you look at some financial models, Meta is already overvalued, but I still think there's more upside in Meta. He also has PayPal. PayPal's an interesting one as well. This is a bit of is it a value trap? Is that system on the way out, because there's a lot of people going away from the likes of PayPal. So that's an interesting play there. Could be a bargain, maybe not. But we notice to see if he does make some changes at some point later in the Lilu. Yes, we're going to look at Lilu. He's the last investor we're going to look at today. He sold all out of Meta in Q2 2022. What a mistake that was. He'll be roaring that to this day. Interesting to see that about Bancorp Incorporation. Lilu is known as a Warren Buffett sort of investor, and no doubt looking at his investments, he's very much up there. And the big talk is he's going to get bigger and bigger as life goes on. Be interesting to see if he adds to his position in Bancorp Incorporated going forward, because he is heavily involved in that company. Financials of that company, revenue and net income, have been increasing, so this could be a good long-term play if you want to look into US Bancorp a bit more. But yeah, certainly for me, he's got a solid portfolio, but I'm not sure well, that's a little bit about the investing here for you today, about what the big investors are investing into, or some are just sitting on the sidelines waiting for their right opportunity. They go boom. Obviously, when they got a lot more money, they have less stocks they can buy, so they have to invest more wisely. Or if I beg to differ, that maybe they could just invest a little bit less in these smaller companies, say 100 million somewhere, like it's a lot for other people, but for them it's nothing. Just put 100 million into something like Palantir and see you fly to the moon. I think there is a lot of stocks out there that are very undervalued and could be absolute bargain buys going into the future. But that is how the super investors invested in Q1 of 2023. And we will be back with more videos soon here on Financial Guru. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video all around the world so we can send finance to all the people in the stratosphere. See you at the next video.